11 different AI businesses are fighting for your attention right now. Too saturated, too competitive, too slow, too thin on margin, too complicated to even start. Almost every one of them comes with a real reason to walk away, and yet almost all of them still work, at least a little. That's not actually the problem we're solving today. The real problem is that only one of them is built to get stronger every single year you keep it, by the way we're about to measure it. And here's the part that might bother you. It's not even one of the 11. It's hiding underneath all of them. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly where. Here's what nobody tells you up front. It's not that these methods don't work. Most of them genuinely do. That's actually what makes this dangerous. When everything works a little, you can spend an entire year bouncing between all of them and still end up with nothing built. Stay with me though, and you're not walking away from this with another side hustle to try. You're walking away knowing exactly how to weigh a real AI business against a distraction dressed up as one, and which single business quietly outranks the other 11. Picture this. Monday, you're convinced AI clipping is the move. Wednesday, you're 3 tutorials deep into voice agents. Friday, someone posts a thread about AI websites pulling 6 figures, and you drop both of the first 2. This is the one, you tell yourself. Again, 3 months in, you've touched almost everything on this list and built a business out of none of it. Here's the part that actually stings. You didn't fail at any of these. You just never let one of them run long enough to find out if it would have worked. That's not a discipline problem. That's an information problem. Nobody ever taught you how to judge one of these ideas against another. And that's because so many of these breakdowns ask the wrong question. Which AI business makes the most money? Wrong question. Almost everything on this list can make you money in the short run. The real question is, which one gets stronger every single year you keep building it? That's the only lens we're using today. So, here's the test every method has to pass. Does the demand already exist, or are you trying to convince someone they need this? How fast can you actually land a paying client? Does it grow past you, or cap out at your own 2 hands? Is AI going to kill this business, or make it more valuable? And then the one that actually separates them from each other, leverage. How much of an actual business does this touch? One task, one department, or the whole thing? Honestly, most of what makes these methods different from each other comes down to that last question. So hold the first 4 loosely. Hold that last one tight. I'm not going to recite this whole list every time we switch methods. Just watch for it, because it's the thing quietly deciding which of these are worth your next year and which ones are only paying this month's bills. Let's start where almost everyone starts. Selling a single skill. Method 1, AI copywriting. Landing pages, sales emails, ad copy. AI drafts it, you shape it. Businesses have been paying agencies real money every month for this kind of work for years, so the demand isn't in question, and your first client can happen in days. Here's the ceiling, though. Your competitors likely have the exact same AI tools sitting on their laptop, so I use AI to write stops being a selling point the second everyone's saying it. The tool stops being your advantage the moment everyone has it. Your positioning is what survives. This works best when you stop writing for everybody and become the person who only writes for dentists or only for gyms. Try to write for everyone, and you disappear into every other AI writer online. Method 2, AI short-form clipping. Ever notice how every podcaster you follow suddenly posts 5 clips for every one episode? Every one of them is sitting on hours of raw footage they're too busy to touch, and AI now finds the best moments and cuts them automatically. Skill barrier is close to 0, and you get paid monthly instead of once, which already beats half the list. Recurring revenue sounds exciting until you realize recurring work came with it too. Here's the surprising part though. Those clips can rack up real views and still bring the podcast 0 new subscribers, because clipping optimizes for the platform's attention, not your client's growth, unless you're deliberate about where the audience goes next. Attention and growth aren't the same thing. Businesses confuse those all the time, and the same tool making this easy for you is making it easy for everyone else too, so pricing gets squeezed fast. Great for proving you can land and keep a client. Weak as a business you'd want to still be running in 3 years. Method 3, AIUGC. The scrappy iPhone-style ad you scroll past on Instagram, except nobody filmed it. A script, an AI face, a product photo, and the tool builds the ad. Startup cost is close to nothing, and demand never dries up, because these ads burn out fast and constantly need replacing. Where it gets shaky, audiences are getting sharper at spotting an AI face, and some brands are quietly backing away from it because of that. Funny enough, the technology isn't becoming the bottleneck anymore. Trust is. Here's the twist, though. Some of the best performing versions right now don't hide it at all. An ad that owns being AI made sometimes earns more trust than one straining to pass as real. Strong if you actually understand what makes content spread. The AI can make the ad. Your judgment decides whether anyone believes it. Rough if you're just letting the tool make every creative decision for you. Method 4. AI website building. Every business needs one, and plenty of small businesses are still running on a Facebook page and a phone number. AI now builds a clean site from a plain description, no code required, and the ticket price is generous for a beginner, often 4 figures for a first client. But remember, it's one and done. Revenue isn't the same as momentum. That's the difference we're quietly measuring. Get paid once, and that client won't need another site for years. Every finished project sends you back to square one looking for the next client. Great if you love the hunt for new clients. Rough if you wanted income that shows back up next month on its own. Notice what all 4 of these have in common. Each one sells a single skill, a piece of writing, a clip, a video, a site. Every one of them can get you paid fast. None of them, on their own, get bigger without you personally doing more work. Keep that feeling in mind, because the next 4 methods are built to answer exactly that problem. Now watch what happens the moment a business stops selling a skill and starts selling a result instead. Method 5. AI chat agents. Here's where the shift actually starts. You're not selling a skill anymore, you're selling an outcome. A lot of local businesses lose customers not on the phone, but quietly on their own website, where people would rather type a question than call. Deploy a chat agent that answers instantly, and you charge a monthly retainer instead of a one-time fee. That's an important shift. You're no longer selling work. You're selling the absence of a problem. The trade-off, competition here is thick, and these tools are increasingly built directly into software businesses already pay for. Strongest paired with something else on this list, not sold alone. Method 6. AI voice agents. Answer every call, first ring, 24/7, no lunch breaks, no missed calls, quietly draining a business every week. Do you know how many calls you missed last week? You ask the owner. He just stares at the number. That single question is most of the sale right there. The best AI businesses don't create demand. They expose demand that was already being ignored. This one has one of the steepest learning curves on the whole list, which is exactly why it pays well. Most people won't push through the setup, so the ones who do run into far less competition. Once it's live, a business genuinely feels the loss if it disappears. And hold on to that feeling, because it's the same feeling Method 12 is built entirely around. Method 7. AI lead generation. Instead of doing marketing for a business, you hand them people already interested and ready to buy. Researched, qualified, contact details attached. Most owners are too busy serving today's customers to go find tomorrow's themselves, which makes this one of the more straightforward sells on the list. You're putting countable revenue directly on the table. Businesses rarely complain about paying for growth. They complain about paying for uncertainty. What thins out the field over time? The space is getting more competitive fast, and entire platforms are now packaging qualified leads as a built-in feature, so today's edge won't necessarily hold next year. Keep this instinct close too. Knowing exactly where a business's next dollar comes from is half of what the very last method on this list gets built on. Method 8. AI consulting. You walk in, audit what a business is actually doing day to day, and find every place AI can save them real time or real money. Picture a 12-person accounting firm where 3 people are still manually copying client data between 4 different systems every single week. That's the kind of expensive, fixable habit an audit exists to catch. Charge a few thousand for the audit, and it can turn into a much bigger implementation project. The technology usually isn't the biggest bottleneck. Organizational inertia is. Not many people are doing this well yet, which keeps the field wide open. Though the surprising part is that the hardest piece usually isn't the technology at all. It's convincing a business that's run the same way for 15 years to actually change. At some point, every great AI business stops asking, "What can AI do?" and starts asking, "What is this business struggling with?" If you understand one industry deeply, this is one of the stronger starting points on the whole list. Carry this diagnostic instinct forward, because it becomes the engine of everything we build toward at the end. You've probably felt the pattern shift by now. Chat agents sell an answered question, voice agents sell an answered call, lead gen sells countable revenue, consulting sells a decision. Each one is worth more than the last, because each one touches more of the business than the last one did. Now push that one step further. Copywriting sold words, voice agents sell answered calls, lead generation sells revenue, consulting sells a decision. Told you. The higher we climb, the less these businesses are actually selling AI, and the more they're selling an outcome AI happens to make possible. One level higher, and these last 3 don't just sell an outcome. They build something that keeps paying you whether you show up or not. Method 9. AI digital products. An ebook, a template, a paid community, a tool, built once with AI doing most of the research and structuring, sold to the next person the same way it sold to the last one. This is the first method on the list where stopping doesn't automatically mean the income stops too. That's the first time on this list you've built something that keeps working after you stop. Here's the less obvious part. The real product usually isn't the ebook or the template at all. It's the list of people who trusted you enough to buy the first thing, and that list is worth more, over time, than any single product you ever build off it. Products come and go. A trusted audience compounds. The trade-off? The first thing you build usually isn't the winner, so you're pulling that lever more than once before it pays off. Hold on to that insight about the list, too. It's the same reason the system at the very end of this list never really goes cold. Method 10. AI Micro SaaS. You wrap a specific AI capability into a small piece of software and charge for it every month. It compounds the same way digital products do, except now you're solving an ongoing problem instead of handing over a one-time resource. Something as small as a tool that watches a Shopify store's abandoned carts and quietly drafts a personalized win-back email every morning counts. This is another shift. You're no longer selling your time. You've started selling infrastructure harder to build than almost everything else on this list. But once a business relies on it, it becomes genuinely hard for them to leave. This kind of quiet, sticky tool is one of the load-bearing walls inside what's coming at number 12. Method 11. AI agent development. A calendar agent, a follow-up agent, a document agent, a small team of them working together like virtual employees instead of you selling just one task at a time. A lot of people still can't clearly explain what this even is yet, which is exactly why the few who can charge serious money for it. One AI agent saves someone time. A team of agents starts changing how a business operates. It demands real technical comfort, but it might be the single most future-proof skill on this whole list. And it's also the closest thing here to what we're about to reveal, because a team of agents working together is basically a business's nervous system in miniature. So here's where we're at. 11 real methods. Every one of them can make you money. Every one of them comes with a real cost too. And if you were paying attention, you already noticed something happening quietly in the background. The further we climbed, the less each business was about a single task, and the more it was about an entire outcome. Copywriting fixed a page, consulting fixed a decision, agent development fixed a whole department. So what happens if you stop thinking about tasks completely and start thinking about the whole business at once? Remember the 5 questions from the start? Demand, speed to first dollar, scale, longevity, leverage. Walk back through all 11 methods, and every single one of them nailed 1 or 2. Not one of them nailed all 5 outright. That's the exact gap this next one exists to close. That's method 12. Method 12. AI operating systems for businesses. This isn't the easiest business on this list. It isn't the fastest either. It takes real systems thinking and an actual understanding of how a business runs. Not just how to use a tool. That's not a warning. That's exactly why it's here. But don't panic. You don't need to build this tomorrow. This isn't the starting line. It's the destination every method before it was quietly building toward. Here's what it actually looks like. Take a restaurant. The easy version of AI help sounds like, I'll build you a chatbot. The operating system version looks nothing like that. A website that actually converts. Feeding a reservation system, backed by a voice agent that answers when the host can't, which triggers a review request the second a table pays, which feeds an email list that brings people back next month, sitting on top of an inventory system that flags what's running low before it's a problem. And underneath all of it, agents quietly running the workflows so the staff aren't drowning in busy work. Notice what just happened. AI isn't the product anymore. The business getting better is the product. This is why it sits at the top. Not because it pays the most, and not because it's the fastest, but because it's the only one of the 11 that answers all 5 questions at once instead of trading one off against another. The demand is real. The path to a first client is genuine, even if it's slower. The growth isn't capped by your own 2 hands. It gets more valuable as AI improves instead of less. And it touches an entire business, not one corner of it. It doesn't replace the other 11 methods either. It absorbs them. The copywriting instinct, the voice agent, the lead gen, the consulting mindset. They're all still in there, just working together instead of standing alone. So if you started this video asking which AI side hustle should I pick, I want you finishing it asking something sharper. Which business problem am I actually willing to own? Not just solve. Every method before this one sells a solution, a page, a call answered, a lead delivered. This one asks you to own the outcome that problem was hiding inside. That's the real shift, not a list of 11.5 businesses. A different way of looking at all of them. Here's exactly what to do with this tomorrow. Stop switching ideas every time a new video convinces you theirs is the one. That's the exact trap this whole video started with. Start by picking one method, something you can realistically land a client on within weeks, not something you're still watching tutorials about 6 months from now. Continue running that same method through the same 5 questions we use today, every time you're deciding whether to keep going or walk away. And once you've actually got a paying client, start asking what else that business needs. Ask it enough times, across enough clients, and that question alone is genuinely how you end up building your own version of Method 12 without ever having to force it. Because here's the one thing worth keeping from everything we just walked through. No business on this list is really selling AI. Copywriting sells words. Voice agents sell answered calls. Consulting sells a decision. Every single one of them, all the way up to the 12th, is actually selling an outcome. AI just happens to be the most powerful tool we've ever had for delivering it. And the businesses that understand that are the ones still standing 5 years from now. So next time somebody tells you they've found the one AI business that changes everything, don't ask what it sells. Ask what it fixes. Nobody pays for AI. They pay for the problem it makes disappear. And ask yourself the same thing. 5 years from now, will the business you're building still be selling a task? Or will it finally be solving a business?